So my name is Charlotte from Beijsterveld. Can you hear me in the back end? Yes? I'm a cross-solution technical architect at Microsoft. I worked 5 years at Microsoft, started as a technical specialist for a low-code platform. Then I moved to data and AI specialist, and now I'm a year cross-solution technical architect in the Microsoft Technology Center. That's my whole career, because before that I was a student. I studied econometrics and operational research at Tilburg University, and then I started working at Microsoft and working with the best financial customers as well. So I'm going to explain you how, or tell you more how generative AI is transforming the financial sector worldwide. And that's a lot, so I try to keep it short and quick as possible in 50 minutes, but definitely want to talk with you on a later stage as well. So you hear already a lot about generative AI. You probably are overloaded with the last two presentations, so I hope that you still have some space left for what I'm going to tell you, of course. But when we think about generative AI, I get a lot of people with mixed feelings. People love it. They think, yes, we're going to change our job. We can do new things. I get also people with emotions like, ooh, what will that mean to me? What should I learn? Can I learn it? How can I apply it as well? But AI is not new, and Edwin was already showing a kind of similar overview where we came from. But in 2021, generative AI was coming up there. And why are people so excited, similar as that boy on the picture, is because you can use your natural language for create code, create content, make summarizations. And in the previous part of AI, you had to learn a specific language, like Python, Sharp, R, maybe another way. So it was for a limited part of people who start using it. And now, because you can use your natural language, we definitely see that everybody should be involved in that one and can be benefit of it as well. So that's also what happened at Microsoft. It's only like, I think, the first quarter of 2023. We pushed it everywhere. Everywhere was Copilot. But luckily, I'm not going to explain to you everything what happened in the Copilot. So it's not a production or technology pitch in that place. I can continue with it as well during the break or another moment. But let's see and tell you about what do our financial customers, we benefit of this, that we make those type of foundation models available to everyone and how they will use this one. So if we look to how generative AI enables the next generation in banking, I find it always a very difficult question that I get asked, like, okay, what's then going on? What is the whole wave and where should we step in? So I make a kind of overview of the different waves that we saw from customers worldwide, how they start using generative AI. And the first one is quite basic. Started like, okay, it should change the employee productivity 1.0. And we're going to count up later, but we start with the 1.0 employee productivity. And that means like, okay, how will be our knowledge workers, our developers going to start using generative AI in the daily task? Because everybody is sending emails, everybody is creating PowerPoints, everybody is writing Word documents. You say, okay, how can we use then those foundation models to make our life a little bit easier by drafting already the email or by drafting already the presentation? Similar for developers as well. I thought at the beginning when those Copilots coming out, and how many people know about the GitHub Copilot or the way that you can generate code. That's great. So you can use your natural language by creating code. And I thought, oh boy, developers, they love coding, right? They love to write it. Will they love this as well? And then I thought I learned about them as well. It's like they love the understanding and way how to solve it, but they don't like the part of creating repetitive tasks. They just want to know and solve the problem with the steps, with the logic, instead of exactly writing. So also one of the examples is Hargrave Lansdowne. I'm not sure if people know that company. It's one of the large companies and financial company in the UK. It's like helping on assets from clients, take care of a lot of assets from different parts of clients, and they started with this productivity with the Copilot. So they thought like, okay, we're going to roll out this Copilot, and they directly try to quantify as well what for impact this will help when they have team meetings. And they send the stuff out of the team meeting, and automatically there will be a transcript of the meeting as well as summary and the action points. Or if they want to draft documents for clients, they thought like, hey, how can we use the Copilot already to create the client documentation as well? It saves a lot of time in different ways how to prepare for client conversations as well, maybe in part of a couple of hours during the week. You can say now maybe my employees can do more now, or you can mention we can also increase employee happiness, so they are maybe not overloaded. So you can say, hey, maybe the employees will be more happy to do the work instead of directly give them also more work if they can achieve that one. So I think it's also a good discussion point how you would going to use if employees has more time, how you want to use this in your work as well. They're also thinking about the part of extending that Copilot with other types of systems. So for example, Jira or ServiceNow, that they give the employees only one interface to find their information, but as well, for example, directly log a ticket in ServiceNow. So we can extend that in different ways, in different applications, that you give one interface for your employee experience. So there's also an open hand to just design how are you going to employee experience going to look like with this new generative AI. And another example is Mitsuru, a bank in Japan. They just rolled out OpenAI to all the employees. Just in the same environment, they are already experiencing that those employees are already using ChatGPT just for personal life as well. And so like, hey, we want to embrace that skills and make them available that they can also use them internally in their organization in a safe way. And they just rolled it out just to give them the possibilities to try out and test it. Then the second part, then we also have like employee productivity 2.0. And that means like we started with the basics, with those knowledge workers, how they can improve their productivity. And then we're going to deep dive more on the knowledge workers, how can we improve those businesses. One of them is the customer call center summarization. Edwin talked a lot about it. We also have one of the largest Dutch insurance companies. They start using similar call center summarization like a year ago. They start trying it out with ChatGPT, GPT-3 model, and they had like 2 million yearly calls. And they're like, okay, we'd like to get some more input out of it, see which type of calls we are coming in, but also be proactive, because if we can see what type of calls are coming in, and if we detect the topics that's coming out of it, maybe at the beginning we already can proactively inform our customers about a specific object or topic, instead of waiting before they go to call or dial our way. Then we come to the third wave, which I'm also a little bit more excited about it. And that's, okay, how are we going to incorporate generative AI also in your daily processes and part of it? And I think that was on your slide, also more on the right-hand side, like, okay, how can we use it for part of automation, but also for fraud prevention? And we work a lot with partners who also try to create products for financial services to implement this one. And one is Lucinity. Somebody heard about Lucinity before? No, okay, then I can do a promotion pitch for them as well. Lucinity is one of the AI SaaS pioneer companies who are working to prevent crime. And they already create like structured reports about, okay, how can we do anomaly detection? How can we find where maybe something suspicious data is in it? And we talked a lot about generative AI, about unstructured data, going through documentation, find relevant information. But the next wave is how we also can apply generative AI on structured data, on your real legend data, financial data, to find elements out of it. Because with generative AI, you can also create prompts or create computer codes to create the right query. So in this case, you see kind of Copilot around it, and I'm going to ask what is specific this number meaning. And instead of it gives you just a clarification of the dictionary, it can also create, for example, a prompt and run that query to find the financial result where it's coming from. For example, if it's a kind of anomaly detection coming out of it, it can say, okay, let's go to the whole data where we see this type of points also coming up. So you can also not only use this on unstructured data, but also on the structured data part as well, which is very powerful, where you can combine yearly reports as well with your structured financial data set. One next step, when we deep dive further in, maybe you heard about, you also have GPT-4 vision models, where we combine vision with generative AI. So, for example, I have a customer in the US, a financial customer, who work like, okay, we have customers that are coming in, they want to buy a house, they have to upload the payslip, for example, but we really want to move from those unstructured data to more structured data and find the relevant information on it. Maybe you're already familiar with OCR or form processing, so you can train a lot of forms, train on it, and finally capture the right information. Now with those new models, you don't need to train all your models anymore. Because with Vision and GPT-4, I can upload an Excel balance sheet. I can ask, make a table of it. Automatically structure it in a way that I can solve it and save it. So that will be the middle part. Or maybe when I'm a developer, I will capture this information as well in a JSON file and directly upload it in my common data model as well, based on only a picture that's uploaded or a PDF. So with those vision and with those unstructured data, you can make it in a structured format as well and store and cover it in a way you would like to use it instead of training all these models in a previous part. Are you still with me? Yes, great. Then the third wave, also part of this first wave, is the AI customer engagement. And that's where I'm the most excited about. It's like, okay, how are we going also to have our conversation with our clients? And if we look to the traditional way of chatbots, it's like you put it open, I got a question, I type it in, I have maybe an FAQ website, I get some information back, and if I really need to solve something, I still have to dial somebody and see if they can help me. Now with conversational banking, we have those combinations. You have speech interaction, you can use your own language. So maybe you live in the Netherlands and you want to speak Dutch to it, but also you can use your own language like German or maybe an Italian one, directly directly update your app for that. You have text interaction, avatar interaction if you really try to want to dial in or want to call somebody. But that's only on the interface side. As well, we can combine it with a whole spectrum of all the possibilities. Because, for example, when I just open my bank app, I would like to know, oh, I'm going maybe to buy a house. What are maybe the different bullets that I'm going normally spend my money on, for example? Maybe you can automatically create a report that customers can use that. But maybe the customer has another type of question. So we can leverage all those structured and unstructured data in the backend based on the query that your client is going to ask, capture those data and bring it back in the same chat environment. So there are multiple ways, and sometimes you cannot know exactly the use case what your customer is asking for, but you can provide them the data that is there and create together the right query to bring this data to the end user. A great example is Commerce Bank, and I think it is also coming this afternoon. Over there, hi. I hope I'm not stealing your whole story, but I'm very excited about this one. Together with Commerce Bank, we work also on a digital avatar. And I think it's a nice link that what you presented, that you're already working in 2017 on this avatar. Now it's coming alive, bringing this this avatar together with generative AI. And let's see what kind of experience this can bring. And let's meet Ava.
Hi, Ava. This is Marco. What can you do?
I hope you are enjoying Ignite, Marco. I am Ava, your Commerce Bank avatar. I am an expert on our retail banking products. I can help answer any questions you may have about our services and products.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and lob a banking question at her. Let's see. I'm in Seattle for a special event. Does my Commerce Bank Premium card include travel insurance?
Y Marco, I'm glad you asked. Yes, our premium credit cards include international travel insurance. You can rest easy knowing that you are protected during your travels.
And I have people in my room, they love it, and I have people, I'm never going to talk with Avatar. And I think that's similar with chatbots as well, how we experience that whole life cycle. But you also have to imagine, you also have got a new generation that's popping up, and a lot of influencers are now becoming also avatars to provide things. So why are not incorporating this as well in our own business? And that's where I come into the fourth wave, and that is like the new office. And that's the way where we can create new projects or products or services, but as well get like a new customer segmentation into it. And why not getting, for example, the new generation in it? Why not doing a kind of gamification? And that's exactly what the ASBC from Hong Kong, this case, are doing. They create a kind of gamification to talk about wealth and how to set up your financial situation. And it's not providing any advice, but just you can chat, creating your whole journey for the future, but as well getting some input and lessons about, okay, where do you need to think about, what are the things of it. They just promote it on Instagram and Facebook. I couldn't find anything on the website, but because there is that new generation and how they leverage and start using it. I cannot read anything about it, only hello ChatGPT part of it. But that's a really great way to also embrace and also get the new generation part of it, of your whole service as well. And also a new product part is like Morningstar. I'm not sure if somebody heard about Morningstar before, but it's like collecting a lot of information for investors and make this available. A lot of reports are out of it, and they incorporated like a co-pilot in their own offering that you can quickly go through all the information. And instead of going into the information yourself, they build on top of co-pilot and help you to find the relevant information. It's not going to give you any investing advice at all. It gives you just the information on your fingerprints. And then I know you're all curious to wave N. But unfortunately, I cannot go to present what's coming up over there. But I think you sitting here in the room, we can come up together and design together what are the next wave, what is it, what's possible, what can we do. Of course, I can also ask, like, can you imagine how it's going to look like? I hope so that we can still talk like a real human and always spending with a HoloLens on our face in the next wave. But I think I would like to invite you just to come up together as we design the new waves of this new future of banking, and that you're already with me to disrupt the whole market with this new generative AI and embrace it and create new part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Charlotte. That was quite informative. Thanks.